Welcome back to YCS 2019 here, back in Sydney after last year being in Melbourne. We are back this time with a round 6 feature match.
Yep.
And this one's very different to the last round where we had the Thunder Mirror match with no trap cards. So what do we have this time?
We have Onur Gezer playing Altergeist, a deck that we've seen on stream already, and he's playing against Blake Charles, who's playing a deck from the past, Swap Frog, Paleozoic, that one.
With infinite trap cards. So we're looking at Blake's list here, and we made a funny observation that last match there was no trap cards, and this time he has no spell cards. He literally has 30 traps and the 10 monsters.
The deck being enhanced by the recent addition of Trap Trick, which was released not too long ago.
Yeah, and the other interesting card in Blake Charles's deck here is that he's playing a Lilith, Lady of Lament from the Diabolic Structure decks, which allows him to tribute it to reveal 3 trap cards, normal trap cards, and be able to set them.
Yeah. So interesting he doesn't play spell cards. He's opted not to go for Pot of Desires, Card of Demise, 2 spell cards, which you've seen in the deck that allows it to draw multiple cards. We don't see Scapegoat, which allows it to summon multiple tokens. We don't see anything. Well,
it just wants traps and monsters.
Yep,
Old school. Lots of traps too, and I'm sure they'll come up as we go. Like, we've even got the Spiritual Swords Revealing Light, some Billy Break callback from the past. Also, of course, Imperial Order, Mistake, Gozen Match, the Solemn Brigade, Lost Winds, all the Paleozoic traps, Trap Trick, as Yahweh mentioned, just a lot of trap cards. So the roll of the dice could be interesting here, because I think both players with this many traps would like to go first.
We do notice that the last 2 rounds have been won by people sitting on the left, so maybe the curse has lifted.
The curse did lift. The prank kids decided it's time. We'll change the whole thing. We'll prank the system. And change it up. So I believe Blake won the dice roll. I'm not 100% sure. Again, the dice went a bit out of screen.
So,
oh no, it looks like Ono was going to normal summon Imperial Order, but then decided Marionetta was a better choice.
It's going to be a very shock to him when he realizes his opponent's deck does not actually play any spells in it.
So he didn't reveal that protocol. We should let his opponent know.
Summoning Marionetta is a really good start. It lets you set a trap card, which lets you negate monster effects. So being able to negate stuff like Swap Frog might be crucial to winning the game.
But I think in looking at Blake's hand, he has opened a hand with, I think, 5 trap cards? And he may have top decked the monster.
I see an Oleonoid, I see a Breakthrough skill.
A lot of trap cards in that hand. He's going to set, so that makes me think it's either a Dupe Frog or maybe the Ronas. And he's going to set 5 trap cards in the spell and trap card zone. Now, Ono, I don't know what he wants to make of this.
You might think he's playing a mirror match.
So in the end phase, I believe it is, he's going to activate Protocol and then activate in the new chain link his Multi-Faker effect.
Yep, it allows him to summon a Altergeist from his deck in defense position. Normally they choose between Silquitas, which allows him to return a card on both fields to the hand, or Meluseek, which is able to pick apart his opponent's field.
And as you mentioned there, the Meluseek is coming down in defense mode.
Yeah. Position. Yeah.
So very interesting where he goes from here. A lot of trap cards in there. We're not able to identify all of them. I think Blake actually has a heavy Storm Duster in hand, if I noticed that one as well. It's definitely on his deck list.
Yep.
So we have a standby phase flip of Morello. So he's going to send 1 trap card from his deck to the graveyard, probably another Paleozoic, or even maybe the Spiritual Swords of Revealing Light.
Hey, this is very interesting, but Honor does not play Heavy Storm Duster in his main or side deck. So this matchup
could be very interesting.
So Blake starts off with Morella sending a Lost Wind to the graveyard. Lost Wind being able to set itself from the graveyard after Honor uses his extra deck.
Which also guys don't normally do straight away, but they do play Hextia and they go for that push a lot of the time. Maybe against 4 spell and traps he might not be. But now he has Arsena Morello, so he may assume that his opponent is playing Paleo with that set card.
Yeah, indeed.
So does Meluseek, if it is a Dupe Frog set, would Meluseek make it mistiming?
No, Meluseek is actually an if effect, so it will get its effect as long as it's sent to the graveyard.
I mean, the Meluseek effect, you send the Swap Frog to the graveyard.
Oh, that one? Sending the swap? No, it still get the Dupe Frog would still get it effect. Yeah, I believe so.
So that may not be a line he wants to look at, but he has made the Hextia, which makes gain attack equal to the Altergeist that it's targeting.
Yep.
And we're seeing the Lost Wind get set here by Blake Charles.
But then Honor does have the protocol, which prevents his activated effects from being negated.
So it's a good setup here from Honor.
But then the Lost Wind does enable the Morella to activate from the graveyard.
So both decks opening fairly well. Unfortunately, Break did not see any of his Frog Engine, or not any of the relevant ones with Swap Frog.
Not the ones he wanted to see. Honor does search the Marionetta with the Meluseek.
So will he summon here? Probably set Infestation, I would think.
The Manifestation.
And Breakthrough skill comes down. So I think Protocol means that won't be negated. But
protocol.
he's probably thinking if he wants to chain to bring back the Morella or not.
I believe that's what he's intending to do, unless he does not notice that there is
Well, he's negating with Hextier instead.
to prevent the Morella from.
What Blake's plan could have been there, he could have been chaining Heavy Storm Duster to destroy the protocol.
Does he have it?
I believe so.
Oh.
And if that's the case, that's probably why he went for a play like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's well versed against Ultigeist, has been in the meta for a long time.
Honor's going through his deck, deciding between Manifestation or.
Possibly
Yeah.
another protocol, but
Yeah.
Manifestation, as you said.
So Honor's travelled here from Melbourne to play this weekend, while Blake is a local from New South Wales.
So home ground advantage and the left seat.
Yeah.
All things lining up for Mr. Blake. So I think he's going to use the Marionetta effect here to send itself to the graveyard. Does someone went back? Or
He can send any Altergeist card to bring back a Altergeist from the graveyard. So he can send the protocol if he wants.
And he can then trigger the multi-faker effect to summon one from the deck.
Yeah, he's summoning the multi-faker. And the
Carefully choosing the zone.
multi-faker will activate again, allowing him to summon a Altergeist from his deck.
Does it have to be in defense mode?
Yes, the monster summon has to be in defense position, so that Melusik will not be able to attack directly and take a card away from Blake.
So in that case, he's obviously going for the Seclordus instead. So he may choose to return the protocol back to hand potentially, or the multi-faker itself and the monster that is set.
Yep.
So just making a path for his Hexia to be able to attack life points directly. Because Ultigeist is very similar to Sky Striker. It doesn't often put a lot of damage on board in one turn. It slowly gets there until it can set up enough board to win.
I think Honor has identified that his opponent's monster may have been a Dupe Frog, and instead of sending it to the graveyard to trigger its effect, he's returned it to the hand so that it doesn't get its effect to search a Swap Frog.
So very heads up play by Onur there.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's really figured out his game plan. He's seen a line of play.
May have played this one before.
Yes, I believe he played it at the Middlefoes YCS, the 2017 YCS.
Ooh. So I think he's gestured to the end phase here, and Blake is thinking. So another Morella.
Which will allow him to set another one from the deck.
So he's chaining Ash Blossom.
Now getting a look at their face here.
So I think he chained that Ash Blossom not only to stop the Morella, but also so he couldn't chain the Morella Engrave. But then the Heavy Storm Duster, as mentioned before, is coming down to destroy 2 cards. It'd be Blake's best interest to leave the Imperial Order there, as it's not doing much.
Yeah, but he did not know there was an
He sure
Imperial
hit it. He sure hit the Imperial Order and an Impermanence.
Yeah, and there is a Morella back on the field. And with the Dupe Frog in there, he can then make plays.
So here we go. So Hextia's so Claudius is 800 attack, correct? So Hextia's sitting at 24.
23, I believe.
Okay.
There's
So
an Illinois. Wow.
Illinois, and he's going to chain, I believe, unless Onur's thinking about another way to interrupt. That he used that this turn already, so I think he's quickly remembered.
And there's a manifestation.
Manifestation goes to grave. Is that the one that can banish yourself to add the other one back?
Yes, that's the one. It will be
And
able to add
it's
another one.
At any point, correct? Or not when it's sent to grave.
I cannot give an answer. Oh, that was a Ronin Totem that was said. It was not actually a Dupe Frog.
We
So
weren't 100% on that, so that makes sense now. It was a Ronin Totem.
Honor's play was, although it was skillful, it was in vain.
Maybe safe was the...
Yeah,
what he
I
was
believe
going
it was
for.
safe from his point of view, but
So how big is Secludus' defense points?
it's a 1500 defense. Still just
Pretty big.
too big for the Paleozoics themselves to attack over, but Blake does have access to his extra deck. I'm sure he has a lot of cards that can combat this.
So he's activating Secludus' effect to return the Ronin back to the hand,
Yep.
and I think he's forgotten that breakthrough skill is in the
Yep.
grave, and since Secludus' cost to return the protocol to the hand,
Yep.
its effect will be negated now by breakthrough skill.
Honor did have the option to use Hex the Attributing off the Silkoidus to negate the breakthrough skill.
That is very true.
He did summon the Opabina, which lets him search a Paleozoic from the deck, and it also allows him to activate Paleozoic traps from the hand.
So I think he may go for the Dynamiscus here to try and clear some of this board. Because if the Hexia goes to the graveyard, he'll be able to get another search.
Yes,
If he
definitely.
can banish it with the Dynamiscus, it'll avoid that situation.
Definitely. And
Which he still has live, so he
he
can
still has
obviously
a
negate
lost
it.
win as well, so he could just flip that up on their Hexia now to
then-
force its effect.
And he may also want to get his Paleo Trap in the grave first off the Dynamiscus and then be able to do that as well.
We see a main deck mistake in the Paleozoic deck.
Interesting he's going for Illinoids again, though. We might have a different plan here.
I think his game plan is that he's identified the Altergeist use a lot of trap cards and he wants as many outs to
Ooh,
trap
I
cards
think I
as he
just
can.
noticed the other card in his hand is Canadia. So he may just put the Secludus face down so he can't use Hextier on it anyway.
Yes. You could just Hexia to negate the Oleanoid.
Correct. But that's yeah,
the
the lost wind is still
Canadian
set.
that one. It's interesting to see what Blake will do now. He's just going for an attack. What is he? Was that a signal for an attack?
He's thinking if he wants to link off the Opabenia or not. Maybe Onor's asking a question to the judges also.
They're just deep in thought, perhaps.
So both contemplating their plays here. We've only been playing for 9 minutes in the round. So he's got his Morella on the field as a monster, declaring an attack, I believe.
Onur is a fairly accomplished player in Australia as well. He won the Victorian LLDS back in 2016. He topped 2015? 2016, yeah. He topped the Oceanics in 2017 during Zoo format, making it all the way to top 4.
I believe he won Swiss that year as well.
Yeah, he defeated me in the last round.
And also at Nationals.
Yeah. So he's done really well. He came 3rd at the Nationals, top 4 in the Oceanics, was an LLDS champion, so I think he knows what he's doing.
So interesting here that Blake chose not to use those cards and instead played a safe. That's why he added the Olenoids to be able to destroy the spell and traps in the next turn. He knows that Onur has a multi-faker in hand.
Yep.
So he doesn't really want him to be able to set a trap and resolve it.
There's a protocol in the graveyard, correct?
Protocol return to the hand.
Return to the hand.
That's probably why he added the Olenoids. So Secludus is alive once he summons. He could also just summon the multi-faker and then put it back in hand if he wanted to try and bounce, but he can't actually affect any of the monsters on the field because Paleozoics aren't affected by the effects of monster cards.
Yeah.
So he's got another Secludus. Can it bounce another copy of itself, or does it have to be a different name?
Not entirely sure. I think it might be able to. He's going for a link summon.
Going for a second Hextier by the looks of it.
Yeah. Secludus will then trigger to add Poltergeist trap card from his graveyard, that being Manifestation, the only one. Yes, you can. You return another Silcoidus with one Silcoidus.
It just can't target itself.
Yeah.
So
now
a big Hextier will attack.
3,000 attack cannot be flipped face down by the Canadia.
You can Lost Wind it, but it may just get negated. But in which case he wouldn't be able to destroy it though. So then the Opabenia would live.
Yes. But then the Hextia would also trigger being able to search trap card.
So just any Altergeist card, correct? Or any Altergeist monster.
It searches any Altergeist card, it could search a trap card, which would be able to combat the Canadia, not the Canadia to Olenoid.
So Hexia may negate here, not just to negate the effect, but so he can't chain Apelia from the grave, although he's choosing not to do that anyway.
And then, so both his Hexias are back on 1500 attack. He takes 900 damage from attacking into Opabenia. I believe Opabenia has 2400 defense.
So, getting some life points back there, Blake is, even though he's down a fair bit from that other first turn, where he let a lot of damage go through.
And Honor still has the option of attacking the Morella using Hextia.
In which case it will be banished, correct?
Yes, as after they leave the field after being special summoned from their own effect, they will be banished.
Onur has a lot of cards in hand here, so he has a lot of options. He has at least a protocol and a multi-faker, so if that lives, he'll be able to resolve both effects. The Olenoids in the face down for Blake will be able to take out one of those cards, but he may have multiple set cards.
Yes.
Now that Secludus has added back the manifestation.
Yeah. He does attack over the Morella. Blake will...
He's letting that go, so he'll take 300 damage. So Onur's actually in a very good position here. The double Hextia, more cards in hand. Blake not having access to any power spells, as we mentioned before. We'll probably have to draw base Swap Frog, I guess.
Well, he does have 2 cards, so he has 50% chance of not losing the protocol.
So he hit the protocol.
Oh, the other card's a manifestation.
So he's got manifestation. Yep.
He's in a very good position here. Because Opabenia needs to have a trap card under it too. Well, no,
it can still detach when it has one, but after this point, I think no matter what, he can activate it from hand though, as long as the card's on the field.
Yep.
So he's probably just going to think of a way to here. He may even just add the third Opabenia and just deal with the last back row. Olenides, sorry.
Yeah.
The one that destroys spell and traps, or he's maybe contemplating another play with maybe Dynamiscus.
He's choosing Morella to load up his graveyard even more.
Probably wants to put another Lost Wind in there if he possibly can, even though the double Hexia on the field is probably the max. I think it's how many Hexias does? Is it 3?
He plays a full set of 3 Hextia. He plays a Prime Banshee as well. He plays Linkaribo, Clara and Rushka, Witch's Apprentice. He does play Borrelog, Curious. Sayuja, Prank Kids. I guess these are all targets for Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherry. He's got his ult there as well. And he's got the Nightmare Phoenix and Unicorn for utility players.
Interesting where Blake goes from here. He has obviously not had any access to his swap frogs or any of his frog engines, so he's just been playing a lot of trap cards. Not sure how that happened.
The Hexia loses the effect to gain from the other Hexia as well, so it was only on 750 attack. That's why.
Also, it was halved by the Lost Wind.
Yes, I thought it.
It's a lot more damage that he took rather than just.
But now that Hexia is gone, he can search any Poltergeist card from his deck, and he chooses to add the Marionetta.
Which will give him more access to more trap cards for that multi-faker that's in his hand.
And that effect that allows it to summon from the graveyard. He can summon back a Hexia as well.
So he's set up really well here, Onur. And once again, Blake, not able to access any frogs, will just be setting some more spell and traps. Well, we know they're trapped.
One being the Morella.
And another Lost Winds, I believe he drew for turn. I'm not 100% on that one.
And during the end phase, Honor will activate Manifestation. He's going to summon. Think about what he summoned.
And Blake will chain his Paleozoic in the grave.
Yep.
Interesting play, but probably the correct play since he can't return any of them to hand with Sequoias, and he can't send any to grave.
Yep.
With the.
If anything,
Melisseek.
they can block damage. Blake is reconsidering what he's summoning, if he's summoning.
Maybe he's waiting for it to resolve, although if he chained it, it'd be second. That's true.
I think he's waiting for a target. Honor's deciding between Silquitas and Hextia. I think he's going with the Hextia.
So he has chained it, even though it should technically have summoned before the summon of Hextia.
Yep.
And then multi-faker and a new chain link.
Yep.
Which means both of these Hexias are now boosted and both can use their effect.
Yep.
Does he go for the Maliseek here?
I believe he has to because he drew his other Silquitas and he plays two Silquitas.
So he's got the Maliseek on the field. He can deal with another spell and trap if he so chooses. Hexia can negate one each, so that's all three spell and traps accounted for. And now all he has to do is find a way to attack over the Opipina, which has been there for like 3 turns now.
I guess Opipina is not posing much of a threat if it's not searching anything.
That's true. It's just 2400 defense unaffected by monster effects at this point.
It still allows him to activate any trap card he might draw from the top of his deck. He's got a Morella. A lot of cards load up the graveyard. Summoning Marionettas, getting another protocol back.
The interesting card I just noticed then for Onur, he has a copy of Terraforming in his deck.
Yes, he's maining 3 Secret Village of the Spellcasters, so that complements well Terraforming, unlike Metaverse, where sometimes if you activate Metaverse, they'll have an opening to Twin Twisters you or something. So Terraforming is more proactive, it allows you to do that. Downside is it doesn't trigger a multi-faker like Metaverse would do.
So that's probably why he plays 1.
Yep.
So he's going for another Maliseek. Is Maliseek once per turn? Or can both of them send a card?
I believe the search effect is once per turn, but the pop effect is not once per turn.
So very
destruction effect.
Very good position here for Onur.
Yep. He's played this matchup, he's tested it, he knows what he's doing. Blake activates Morella here.
I think he might consider negating it. He's possibly thinking about just letting it go through and letting him bring back another Paleo.
Yeah, no. Honor gives it the thumbs up, and he will summon the All in 80s back.
On here we see the Spiritual Swords of Revealing Light being sent to the graveyard.
Yes, that card banishes itself to negate an attack, right?
It's the old Billy Breaks special.
Yep, Honor reading it, just to clarify, I will read it out to you. Once per attack, when opponent's monster declares an attack, you can pay 1000 life points to negate the attack. Or during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, and this turn your opponent's monster cannot attack directly. This will protect his life points.
And it'll stop Maliseek from being able to resolve its effect as well.
Wow, that is powerful. But Hextia can negate that. Hextia is able to negate effects.
Because the errata happened after the set release of the... I think it was Battle's Legend Relentless Revenge, the reprint of Hexia, and they made the text back the way the OCG had it, which negates both effects and activations.
And Honor has identified that he's actually tributed the multi-faker, but Blake will respond with his own Canadia to flip the Maliseek down.
Even though Blake has not seen his Frog Engine at all except for the Ronin Tone, he still managed to put a lot of monsters on the field right now.
Yes, in fact, he has. Honor's deciding if he wants to be able to respond this or he just lets it go.
Yeah, I think the only thing he could have done there is negate it just to stop him from summoning another monster, because the Maliseek was just going to send that last one to the graveyard anyway.
First Maliseek will attack and he'll be able to attack and
Solemn Judgment.
Wow.
Imagine if he opened that a bit earlier in the game.
Blake does have a lot of monsters on his field, but they will get attacked over.
But he only has 2 attacks.
Yeah. two of them will get attacked over, one for 300 and the other one for 1800. 2100 damage.
I think the best possible draw in Blake's deck right now is the Swap Frog,
Yeah.
because it will most likely resolve.
I do believe these Paleozoic should get banished when they get attacked over, right? But that one
I
shouldn't be over the Solemn Judgment.
believe it should be in the banish zone.
Yeah.
Yes. So now he's passed across. Blake is about to draw to start his turn. Again, he probably needs that Swap Frog. I can't see many other draws. The Lady of Lament could be interesting. To get another trap card, which could deal with some stuff.
I think these are the situations where you need cards like Pot of Desires and Card of Demise to draw you into more cards. But like Blake might find his way through. He might draw Trap Trick. That card is a very powerful card. It becomes any trap card you want from your deck. So that's a very powerful effect. He can search through any card in his deck.
And Lady of Lament actually lets him access Trap Trick
Yes.
as well. So what has he drawn? He's thinking about it. He can also still activate trap cards from the hand with Opabenia.
Yep.
Even though it has no material. Onur still has one negate with Hextia. He has a face down Milliseek, a face up Milliseek, and an unknown face down. Couple of cards in hand. Still in a really strong position. But Blake has managed to stay in the game. We are now halfway through the round and it's still game one. He has drawn another Olenoids to destroy a face down. He's targeting. I think Hextia may be chained here. Yep.
He'll chain it to negate it to also prevent a Paleozoic from activating in the graveyard.
So Hextia on the field is now back down to 1500 attack points.
But the Hexia that was tributed is free to summon search one from the deck.
I think it's finally the engine's starting to power down for Blake. He's starting to run out of resources while Onur is still high on resources and has a lot more interactions on the field.
Yep.
It's something that the Ultigeist deck does very well.
Now that with Master Rule 4, you can't just have multiple Opabinas on the field without making a Link monster, which he does play Miss Starboy, which uses two water monsters to summon. It points downwards left and downwards right, opening up two zones for him so he can go that route.
This is like turn 5, I think, or turn 6 in the game. We still haven't seen a totally awesome get summoned.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens when you don't see the Frog Engine fast enough.
Blake has done pretty well so far.
Oh, for not seeing the best engine in his deck,
Yeah.
his 30 trap card, rest of his deck is held up really powerfully against Ultigeist. One of the main contenders in the format.
He's weighing his options now, seeing what he can do with Morella, seeing what he can do with Opabenia.
So, but he also is low on life points, and it's now over halfway through the round.
He's attacking over Meluseek for 700 points of damage. And Meluseek will be able to search a monster.
Possibly a Marionetta here, or does he have any left?
I know he already has a Marionetta in hand.
He's got
he's searching the Conqueri, which is able to block an attack and negate an effect as well.
Can it do that when they're unaffected by monster effects?
I believe he can still special summon it, and it has 2400 defense, so that would be fine.
If his card set there's a trap card, which I assume it is, he may be able to trigger the make it multi-faker in his turn now. Just depends what card it is. He's drawn another Ash Blossom, which could stop any Swap Frog top deck.
Yeah, he's activating Protocol now, which will be... Oh. And Blake does respond with the Nolan 80s in the graveyard. That's the correct one.
Yeah, because the other one was banished when it was attacked over last turn.
Yep. He summons a multi-faker from his hand, which summons a Meluseek from the deck.
Which again gives his Hextia another
1200 attack boost.
He could have actually negated... oh no, he couldn't because it wasn't on the field yet.
Yeah, there was nothing.
But Protocol's now back on the field, and Manifestation back as well.
Yep. And he will... Is he trying to normal summon another multi-faker? Ooh, he just wants to get a lot of monsters on the field.
May make his third Hextia here. Get the whole crew out.
Yeah.
Get the whole gang out on the table. Interesting, though, that even with not drawing his engine, he was still able to survive this long, and Onur has had to put this much effort into getting through this field.
So
he's crashing his multi-fakers
into the Paleozoic traps.
So now all banished.
Hextia attacked over the Opabina, which because Hextia was on 2700.
Oh, and Pot of Desires comes down for Onur now. Very, very crucial draw in the context of this game now.
I think so.
Yes, 12.
Ultigeist do not want to banish all their monsters, but Onur has drawn or searched through most of them.
There was something awkward here. He kind of put 12 down instead of 10 and then didn't know which ones were the ones that he was meant to draw.
Yeah. I guess no harm, no foul. Nothing.
The judges figured out which cards they were.
Yep.
Fixed pretty easily.
Yep.
This is the difference, though. Like the fact that Onor's playing Pot of Desires gives him that extra advantage and just has more cards in these close game situations.
Yep.
He's drawn another trap card, which he can set. I think it was possibly an Infinite Impermanence or another Protocol.
That's a personal spoofing, it looks like.
Drawn the Dupe Frog off the top, so he will now be able to make it totally awesome. So this is still in the game.
Yeah.
And the Hextia, unfortunately for Onor, does not have anything pointing to it. But the Kontari is now there. The Konkari, sorry.
Konkari blocking the attack, negating the attack, and being able to negate the monster's effect on the field.
So while Konkari is on the field, the Toad is not able to activate its effect, correct?
I'm not sure if Honor declared its effect. I didn't. Maybe he did
didn't want it to get negated.
non-verbally, or like verbally without hand signal.
So now with almost 15 minutes, just over 15 minutes left in the round, we're still in game one. And this game, he's going back and forward, and with Totally Awesome activating its effect now, so I think Onor mustn't have activated Konkari's effect. Maybe so it didn't get negated and set, because if it is set, it's a very big defense for him to deal with.
He does have the protocol to be able to negate Toad's effect to special summon during the standby phase. I believe Toad does not negate effects, only negates activation.
I believe so. Same as Cyber Dragon Infinity, if I recall.
So Hextia does get the free pass in that it can do that. Oh, that's a Rivalry of Warlords he drew.
Ooh. Doesn't hurt this matchup at all. So Protocol is negating the Toad by, I believe, targeting the Konkari.
Tributing the Konkari.
Tributing, sorry. And you can't negate that because the Protocol's already face up on the field. And now there's 15 minutes left to go.
I believe this is 2,000 damage.
He's quickly reading Protocol. I think he just remembered what Protocol does.
Toad will be able to add back an water monster from the
I guess
graveyard.
so he's decided to concede instead because obviously looking, there's 15 minutes left in the round. We just finished game one.
Yep.
So he's probably just thinking, maybe I want more time.
So looking at the side deck, it's very interesting. Like I said before, Honor does not play Heavy Storm Duster in between his 55 cards. Do you think that will impact this matchup?
I believe, so who went first that game? I believe it was Honor, so
Honor
he could
did go
set up.
first.
So I assume Blake will want to go first game too. And Blake actually has 2 copies of Wiretap in his side deck. So that could also be very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Potentially impermanence, depending if he's worried about the advancing effects, depending what cards he wants to take out of his main deck. He may not. Well, Goes and Match actually hurts.
Yep.
Them, I believe the Ulti strategy.
This is really cool. Blake plays 2 Waking the Dragons in his side deck in an attempt to summon a Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon, which will happen if Waking the Dragons is destroyed. But because Honor doesn't play the Heavy Storm Duster, it might just work out for Honor because he won't be randomly hitting like Waking the Dragon.
We can watch here if Blake's deciding to do it. He's just put the Wiretaps in.
Yep.
And I think I see more than 2 cards.
Yeah.
So he may have actually put in the Waking the Dragon. So this could be very interesting. He may be assuming that Honor does have the Heavy Storm Dusters.
Going second, Honor does have a set of Evenly Matched and a set of Dino Wrestler Prankatops, which are both very good against these trap heavy decks because Prankatops can attack over a monster and then proceed to hitting a trap.
So if he just lands on a Toad and can't resolve its effect, the Prankatops can attack over the Toad and then destroy another Bat Spell and Trap.
Yep, exactly. And Honor plays Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, but he does not play Totally Awesome, so I do not believe we will see that coming in.
Silly Onor, not playing Totally Awesome.
Yeah.
Was not prepared for this Paleozoic matchup in round 6 of YCS.
Didn't he? I believe he wasn't. There's 13 minutes on the clock. So Blake is probably playing for the draw if he can. He might be able to win quick enough to play game 3.
Sitting at 5-0 record?
They are playing from table 4 actually.
Ooh.
So both very high up.
Paleozoic.
Both doing very well.
So Onor here will be going second. Let's see if he can draw that evenly matched. Trap, monster. Monsters.
Blake will set 5
once again
cards and pass.
Where's the dank go? Give me the dank go.
Does Honor have the evenly matched? No, he does.
Ooh, he's going straight for normal.
A little ahead of himself.
Standby phase. Blake has quickly pulled him up so he can activate Morello.
Yep.
Potentially to send the Lost Wind again, or probably not now that he knows the matchup.
We'll see what he goes for. I do see the wide taps in. He goes for the Lost Wind again. Card that can recur itself. It can help you activate your Paleozoics from the graveyard.
So we're seeing the Marionetta land for Onor now, and a Solemn Warning quickly puts an end to that.
Yeah, Solemn Warning taking out. It cuts him off from having an Altergeist on the field. It stops him from getting to a trap card He responds with his own 3 set cards.
It's a pretty easy sided option too for Onur here. He could have taken out the Imperial Order and the Secret Village engine to straight away trade for those
Yeah.
evenly matches and prank tops.
He passes setting 3. If there's a heavy Storm Duster, it would be pretty big. And we see
Ooh,
Trap Trick, which
can become one. One of the newer cards from Flames of Destruction. Hasn't seen much play, but very powerful.
Yep.
So its its effect is that it can banish any normal trap card from the deck.
Yep.
And then directly set a copy with the same name
Yep.
from the deck, and you can activate it this turn.
Yep.
The only drawback is that for the rest of the turn, you cannot activate any more trap cards. But after this, I don't think he would want to activate
Yep.
any more trap cards.
Yep.
So he's
and
also summoning the Morella back, chaining to the Trap Trick.
he has a heavy Storm Duster as well that he can just activate now, take out 2 of the cards.
So he Solemn Warnings the first monster. He Heavy Storm Dusters 2 of his 3 face downs. Onur's left with 2 cards left in hand, hitting a Solemn Strike, and
Manifestation, that
I
looks.
believe that's Manifestation. So
Yeah.
Onur left with just 2 cards in hand. Not
Manifestation
sure.
was not that big of a deal, but Solemn Strike would have hurt a lot.
So unfortunately, still not drawing any frogs, but he's going to attack for 1200 with the Morella that's on the field.
Putting him only just behind by 800 now.
Now down to 10 minutes left in the round. So we'll see here what Onur draws. I think it's another monster. So
Meluseek.
the Meluseek.
That's
Melu
huge, but we
Melu.
can see Blake with his Canadia set on the far right. He will activate Canadia. Returning it down. Look, checking the graveyard for any Paleozoics. He sees that there are none, and he will allow this.
He also has a multi-faker in hand, I just saw. So if that's a trap card set, he'll be able to resolve that possibly in the next turn.
Yeah, the 30 trap card deck is now hindering his progress. He's not able to see any monsters. He can't capitalize on his.
I think he forgot to put Swap Frog in his deck.
Oh.
I'm not sure. It is just not in there.
I did see it when he shuffled. It's in there. It's just not being his friend this round. But
Just hiding away.
yeah, Ono was able to add another Marionetta to his hand using Meluseek's effect. And drawing for turn, he just guns the Marionetta. He knows what he wants to do. This is the play he's going for every time.
So I think that's an infinite impermanence, and very importantly, the impermanence in the same column
Yeah,
as Onur's set spell and trap card, which is probably a trap.
Ono will have.
Solemn
Ono-
Judgment comes down.
That's huge draw. He will take.
4,000.
No,
Oh no,
he took.
he's actually down to 68, so he's now down to 39,
Wait, so
hold up,
68 would be in
3,400.
3,400 life points. 9 minutes left on the
Solemn
clock.
Judgment, first time we've seen that on stream.
Not only that, but Solemn Judgment also stops the Canadia from summoning itself back. So
Big plays there from Onur, holding that Judgment for a couple of turns, waiting for the right moment. Perfectly timed, hits the impermanence. Marionetta sets a protocol.
I think that when Blake flipped the Heavy Storm Duster earlier, the first card Owner touched was a Solemn Judgment, so Blake probably thought it was something he wanted to send to graveyard, so he opted to pick the other 2.
Very, very interesting. And now he's obviously in a new chain link, activating the multi-faker effect, which will let him summon possibly a Cycloidus to try and return that other's face down
Yep.
back to the hand.
He has the option. He also has Meluseek to be able to search more. He does go with the Silcoidus.
Obviously, he can't return the Paleozoic back to the hand, but he's got a Marionetta on the field that has more attack points, so we'll be able to push through.
I believe he's able to target the.
Or he's using Marionetta's second effect to send the Cycloidus. Very well played by Onur there. Gets back the Manifestation, gets the Meluseek to the field. But Paleozoic Dynamiscus coming down, targeting the only monster on the field bigger than his Morella.
Yeah.
And he does have a Canadia, I think, in the graveyard, so he's possibly going to chain that.
Yeah, and that's what he does.
And the big point now is that with Onur activating that Solemn Judgment, he is now down on life points and possibly staring down a totally awesome next turn if he can't clear these cards. He's trying to send it with Meluseek, just realized he can't.
He can try to, but the Paleozoic are unaffected by monster.
He's just activating it, I think.
He's actually going to crash his multi-faker. Oh, he's trying to block off the access to the Totally Awesome or Opabina, knowing that he loses multi-faker in the process, but he's waited up and he's believed it's worth it. He has a manifestation. I think
So
that's
he added it back, yes, when the
Yeah.
Cycloidus went to grave. So Blake draws, and if that's not a Swap Frog, I'm convinced Swap Frog has ran away and is not coming back.
opt away.
And hopped away and not
Oh.
coming back.
Oh,
And
no.
look at all those trap cards. Many trap cards.
So in just one turn, the position has changed to Honor's favor.
But the life points are still an issue, and even in the first game, the life points took a long time to change. So
Yeah.
with only just under 7 minutes left in the round, do you think Onur is going to be able to push enough damage through here? He's obviously adding
Yes.
another Marionetta.
Beliefs. Possibly, we can see. It depends what Blake drew for turn. If that trap card is high impact, it like anything could happen really.
So he's setting the new trap that he has drawn. Definitely not a spell, as we said.
He activates a manifestation. He's going to be able to summon. Oh, he can summon multi-fake and trigger multi-faker's effect again. Getting multi-faker off. He would have gotten multi-faker off almost every turn this game, or
Just
every game, every turn this match.
infinite multi-fakers, infinite marionettes, infinite squatters,
He's summoning
infinite
back
Belaseek.
The Silcoidus, he can bounce.
Would
He
you
can return a Altergeist card from his field to return that set card as well.
manifestation goes to hand? Does the multi-faker go to grave?
I believe so. If it's already resolved, yes. But
Yep.
if
In
it
the
was-
chain, you can
yeah.
actually resolve it so it can dodge it.
yes,
So he's got Marinator in hand, so he has a way to get over the Canadian now.
Yeah.
But again, time is now starting to become the problem, especially also for Blake now too, because he's down a game. So to even come out of this with a win is looking very unlikely regardless. The draw is starting to look like his main option.
very unfortunate that he wasn't able to get to his Swap Frogs this game. Had he seen the Swap Frogs, the game would have gone pretty differently. But
And traditionally, or Pot of Desires again for Onur coming down.
Yeah.
Give him another 2. Just the power spell is actually making a difference.
as much
when it
as I
matters.
want someone from Sydney to win, Melbourne seems like it's got this one.
So just checking to make sure he's not missing anything that's banished.
Yeah.
He's got an Ash in hand, so if the Swap Frog does come down, it's probably getting negated anyway.
I wonder what the trap card Blake drew was. How high impact it would have been.
So that'll be 400 and 800, so 1200 damage.
1200
So
putting him on
keeps Onur behind, but
closing the gap.
again, clock coming down to it for under 5 minutes to go now.
And
Still quite a gap.
so what's your opinion on the new time rules? Does it make people play differently?
I believe it definitely changes the way people play.
Yep.
Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we've seen Lady Lilith of Lament, I believe it's called, or Lilith Lady of Lament.
Yep.
One of those cards from Structure Check we mentioned, which can tribute itself to reveal 3 normal trap cards from the deck, and your opponent randomly selects one and gets set to your field.
Oh, it's pretty interesting. Oh, he's using
So
to
he's
attack
first attacking. I believe it normal summons itself
It's a quick effect, right?
2000 attack.
Oh, it's a level 3. I'm not entirely sure on this.
100%. I may have its effect negated also.
Right, Lilith?
Its original attack becomes 1000, so he's just attacking the Sequoidus.
Yep.
So personal spoofing gets activated from Onur's side of the field to put the Sequoidus back to the deck and add a different Altergeist card from deck to hand. But with your question in regards to the time rule, I think it's also quite a positive thing for the
Yeah.
game. Like we obviously see a lot of tournaments run for a long amount of time.
Yeah.
When the 2 turns and 3 turns in time during major events.
Yeah, I believe it
Um,
does add a huge dimension to the game.
It does change the way people have to play, especially when it gets to this part of the
Yeah.
game. Like some people have noticed
Yeah.
the strategy of if they're losing game 1, they just quickly pack up instead,
Yeah.
give themselves more time for game 2 and 3, and it just changes the dynamics of the matchup where normally you may have wanted to play a bit longer and see
Yeah.
if you could stay in the game.
I feel like if I had 2 hours to play a match, the results would be a lot different too if I only had 40 minutes to play the match. There's so many dimensions to it. Like, when you have 2 hours, you have more time to think it through. You have more time to make sure your line is correct. But when you have 40 minutes, it does get really close to it. A lot of
I
games.
believe that's part of the skill of the game.
Yeah,
'Cause anyone
definitely.
can sit there and play for 2 hours and make the optimal plays because you can look at everything involved. But in 40 minutes, you have to do it as fast as you can and as effectively as you can and make sure you do the right
Yeah.
thing.
And we definitely saw that last match when Bowden was playing and he was getting close to time. He was rushing his plays. He was trying to get to whatever he was looking for as soon as he could.
Yeah, and as we see now, Protocol will negate the Lady of the Men, sending the Marionette to grave. So now you can see Onur quickly going through his deck, running through his resources with 2 minutes 40 to play, and he's still down by 1,600 life points.
Yeah.
So rushing through it now. Blake looking a bit more relaxed than he was about 5 minutes ago.
I still believe that players aren't trying to go for a draw. A draw is only awards you 1 point as opposed to win awarding you 3 points.
But I think in Blake's situation now, there's no point, obviously, for him to surrender because he's up on life points, and his best result he can get from here is probably a draw.
Yep.
But in Onur's case, he would have to really consider how much time's left and how much siding would take if he really wants to go to a game 3, or if he thinks he can do enough damage.
One dynamic is that Alt guys do play Meluseek, which is able to deal 500 direct damage, go through any amount of monsters. That is a way to deal damage in a short amount of time.
So with 1 minute 50 though, do you think that's worth it?
Oh.
Maybe he could have considered it a bit earlier. So once again, he just doesn't have a monster big enough, so he has to make a link play, which will then let Blake get back his lost win that he set there turn 1, if he remembers.
Yeah.
But with the minute 39, and then with Onur activating multiple effects again, and there's the lost win getting set.
Lost win cannot be
2
activated.
lost wins. I am not sure he can activate 2 in response to 1 summon.
I believe, yeah.
I think the judge is going to quickly check that, but hopefully that doesn't affect the time here because we're down to now under 90 seconds.
Yeah. Lost win.
Well, they've allowed it, so maybe that is the case. It can be summoned.
Ooh, this might just be enough. No, it's this Hextia is on 2300 attack. It will be
That's
able to attack
11.
for 900. 900 plus
So
800.
23 over 12 is 11, plus 8 is 19, which just puts
Wait,
Onur in the
23
lead.
over 12 is 900.
11.
Wait, 11. Yeah,
11.
no, my bad, my bad. Yeah, it's
Aren't
11.
aren't you supposed to be
Yeah.
smart?
Apparently. Yeah,
So
no, sometimes I do my life point wrong.
I think the Sequoias now puts him into the lead.
Yeah.
And I think he's still in the battle phase. He's activating Protocol to summon the Multi-Faker, which will allow him to push even more damage through and also summon another monster from his deck if he has one.
Yeah.
Or he may just choose to not summon, which he doesn't. Just obviously with time, with 30 seconds left on the clock, he's rather just push through.
Yeah.
Potentially he'll make another Hextia here. Or he's using Sequoias effect to return the lost win, which will banish it from the field because it left the field.
Yeah.
So 1500 life point lead with 20 seconds on the clock. Onur in a really good position here. Can Blake finally draw the swap frog? Does not look like it. And he will end his turn, which with 10 seconds to go on the clock would probably mean this will be the match. So both players played really well there, back and forth. And again, with Blake not drawing his frog engine, it made it a bit more awkward for him to play his deck than he would have normally liked to.
He played it well with the resources he had.
Of
He
course.
tried to make do with what he had. Like sometimes life gives you lemons and you just have to find
Just a way to do it.
Yeah, I've got to find it. They give you half a lemon and you just got to make a full
And
glass of
he
lemonade
truly goes
out
in
of it.
match a bit late as well. He's just revealing there to Onur. So
Yeah.
more friendly banter. They're both in good spirits. Both played with really good skill. And obviously with a 5-0 record leading into this game, both players are in a good position anyway.
Yeah, both currently undefeated.
One round to go in the day. Onur's sitting at 6-0 now.
Yep. That would put him near the top. He's playing Altergeist, which is a very powerful deck
And
that we've seen.
From what we've seen, there's a lot of Thunder Dragon, and it's meant to be known that Altergeist generally have a good matchup against Thunder Dragon. I'm not sure either way. I normally find it easier to play Thunder Dragon against Altergeist, but that's just different opinions. But talking to Onur, he seems pretty comfortable with that matchup, and there's a lot of it going around as we've seen on the feature matches.
Yeah, there are a lot of things you have to consider, like Denko Sekka, which is very powerful. It can stop you from using your traps. Then you have to open cards the right half you do. You have to not see your secret villages as well. So a lot of things you have to consider.
A lot of dimensions to that matchup, and even with other matchups too that they have, like even that one just then.
Yeah.
If game 1 Onur opened up a lot of his secret village stuff, like he opened Imperial Order, just was not useful because Blake paid 0 spell cards.
And this matchup was especially tough because the Paleozoics aren't affected by monster effects. They cannot be sent to graveyard by Meluspeak. They cannot be returned to the hand with Silcoitus. So
a large factor why I think Blake could stay in the game for so long. He just kept putting his Paleos on the field, and then Onur had to deal with them.
Yeah, but then I think as time went on, the gap between what they had grew bigger and bigger, and then eventually Onur was able to close out that match.
So hopefully we have Onur coming over for an interview. I think we already had a in-between match interview with him a few rounds ago. But
no, we had to start the next round after.
So he missed out on that, so now he gets his chance to be on the feature match table, and he will get an interview shortly. So we'll be back soon.
Yep. Right, we're back again with the winner of the feature match, Honor. How are you feeling?
Feels alright. That was a long, hard game, but
Was that a
Fun.
matchup that you like playing?
I actually never practiced against it. I
Yeah.
played against it once before in the tournament, and I
Yeah.
won then as well. But yeah, it was really hard, especially since I don't play Storm Duster at all.
Yeah, and also you're playing cards like Secret Village and Imperial
Yeah.
Order, and he's playing 0 spells.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the whole Paleozoic's not being affected by monster effects. That made it a little
and you
tough.
can change to my traps.
Was there any point in that match where you felt like you were not in a position you were happy to be in?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna lose the first game when he had like he randomly made a Opabinia instead of a Toad, and then I think he lost because of that.
Okay.
I think if he made Toad, I would have definitely lost that game.
Okay. What else is there to talk about? So, what'd you side in?
I sided in, so I went second. So I sided in 3 evenly, 3 Prankatops, and I have to take out 8 cards that are dead. So I sided in 2 Lancia. So if he can't use Rhino Toad for a turn.
Okay. So, yeah. So where are you from?
I'm from Melbourne.
All right. And when did you get in?
I got in on Friday.
Friday.
Friday morning. Yeah.
And what'd you do on Friday?
Friday we got here. Went to pre-rage, tested, met all my friends from Interstate.
Yep.
It was fun.
And what made you choose Altergeist to play in this YCS?
So originally I was gonna play Striker, but it has a really bad game 1 against everything.
Yep.
And I feel like in the side also, like you can't fit in. I couldn't fit in everything I wanted to side to cover all the matchups and to confidently win more.
Yep.
So by playing Altergeist, I can main deck for Striker, and I can also like side for all the other matchups. I can fit everything I wanted, and so I felt like for that reason it was the best choice for me.
All
I
right,
didn't want to play like a combo deck.
And what do you like playing against, and what do you not like playing against?
I like playing against Thunder Dragons. That was an easy one. I probably don't want to play the mirror match because I don't have Duster.
So why do you actually not play Heavy Storm Duster? It's very intriguing why you don't play between your main and your side, where it's very commonly played.
I don't play it because I think it's only really good in the mirror. It's like okay against Striker, but Striker I have so many other cards for.
Yep.
That like I'd rather play cards to cover all the other matchups.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So good. And what decks do you think will do well at this event? Did you see the deck breakdown?
I saw deck has so many Altergeist players, so I wish I played Duster now.
Yeah. So do you have a game plan for when you do play a mirror match?
I do. I think evenly Mind Crush and Pankatops are so powerful.
Okay.
Like all those cards are so big in the mirror.
You would have Mind Crushing going second and first?
I think so.
Yeah.
Potentially.
And what would you take out?
I think I'm taking out Rivalry and all the
Field spells?
field spells, Imperial Order.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So you know the YCS Atlanta coming up is a 3v3 YCS. If you
Oh,
were
really?
to join that YCS and you had to pick 2 teammates from the anime,
From the anime.
who would they be?
Probably Yusei
Why?
for one of them. He's only ever lost 1 game in the anime. So he's like,
Was that the one against the Infernity guy?
Yeah.
He technically passed out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
didn't
yeah.
yeah.
and probably Yugi because he cheats. So
He cheats.
yeah, 3 wins.
You know, he's lost a fair few matches.
Has he? Didn't lose 1?
He lost to Kaiba.
Did he?
Yeah, because Kaiba
yeah,
was
right,
training
right.
to jump off the
Oh.
castle, and he lost to the Guardian guy, right?
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, good to have you on. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Good luck for the rest of the tournament. See you soon.
All right, thank you.